It's now the time of the year when you can hear Christmas carols on the radio or in the malls or on TV. So it's also time for us to make our fruitcake in time for Christmas. Let's get started. Here are the ingredients. 1/4 kilo walnuts, 1/4 kilo raisins, 1/2 kilo glazed fruits, 1/4 cup cherry brandy or rum, 2 1/4 cups all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup melted butter, 1 cup brown sugar, 1/2 cup molasses, 4 whole eggs, 1/4 cup cherry brandy or rum, 2 teaspoons vanilla, 1 teaspoon lemon extract, 1/4 cup any fruit juice. Today we're using pineapple juice. For garnish, we have here red and green glazed cherries, and then we have some walnuts. First thing we need to do is we mix together all the fruits and nuts. By the way, you can use a combination of local and imported glazed fruit so that you can reduce your cost. The imported glazed fruit is made with the peel of the citrus fruit, while the local glazed fruits is just made with white squash, or what they call condol. So it actually has no flavor. It will just provide bulk and color. So you can just use half imported and half local. And then for the nuts also, you can use 1/2 walnuts and 1/2 cashew nuts, or whatever nut you want to put in. And then we have raisins. You put this all together, and then you put rum. Alright, if you have time, you soak the fruits and nuts in the rum mixture overnight. You put it in the refrigerator, cover this, and keep this overnight. Okay, you get a better flavor. But if you don't have time, then we'll just go ahead and mix. Okay, you set it aside. I have here 4 whole eggs. And then you have the brown sugar. You whip this for about, I would say about 5 minutes. I have here all-purpose flour. You add in salt, baking powder, baking soda, cinnamon, nutmeg. Some people add allspice to their fruitcake, and mace, but I personally don't like the flavor of mace and allspice, so I make mine only with cinnamon and nutmeg. But you can do it if you want to. And then we have here, we set this aside. Then we have here cherry brandy, the second one. The first one, we put it here. And then you have pineapple juice. You can use any fruit juice like orange, pineapple, grape juice, prune juice. And then you have vanilla. You have lemon. Okay, let's set this aside. Alright, here, after this is about 4 minutes, you will see that the eggs are thick now. See? Okay, and when you lift it, it will form a ribbon. This is what they call a ribbon. You can see a pattern. Alright, okay. If you have a small mixer, it might take you longer than 4 minutes. Okay, let's add the molasses first. I mixed in the molasses first, and then I'm going to add in the melted butter. Make sure your melted butter is not hot. Okay. And here, remember the dry ingredients. Okay, I already pre-sifted the flour before I measured it, so I can just mix this with a spoon, but if you like to sift it again, yes, you can do that. Alright, so I lower the speed. I add the dry ingredients alternately with the, remember this is the flavorings, and the juice and the rum. Here we have already incorporated all the ingredients except the fruits. Okay, there are two ways you can do this. If you use a heavy duty mixer, you can put the fruits in and then mix it. But if you don't have a heavy duty mixer, what you do is you pour this mixture into the nuts. Okay, this is what we're going to do today. See, we need to scrape the bottom. I can see a few streaks of molasses, but this is okay since we're going to mix this. For those of you who would like to sell this for the holidays and you want to, well, you make this ahead of time, you can add 2 teaspoons of potassium sorbate as a preservative. There are many kinds of baking pans you can use. Today, since this is the in thing, I'm going to use the tin can. Alright, you can put it directly in the tin can, but I always put parchment paper. Anyway, don't worry, because later I will show you what you need to do so that the parchment paper will not show. Okay, because I don't want the cake sticking to the pan. We can also use this one, aluminum foil. This one does not need any parchment paper. Alright, okay, let's scoop this out. Okay, don't fill it to the brim because this is going to rise, and if you fill it to the brim, once it rises, you won't be able to cover it. Alright, so you try to push this one so that you'll get a round cake. Don't worry if it gets a little dirty because we're going to cut that off later. Okay, let's decorate our. So I have here some cherries. You can decorate it however way you want to, so your costing will not be affected. What I do is, instead of mixing in all of the walnuts, I just take out some, so I reserve them for the topping. You can do the same. Okay, so here I have done the others. So let's put this in the oven. Alright, we need a slow oven. To get a moist fruit cake, you need a slow oven. You use between 280 to 300 degrees. You bake this for about 1 hour. Let's put our fruit cake in the oven. 300 degrees or 280 to 300 degrees. We'll check after 50 minutes. I have many recipes to share with you. If you're interested, please like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you can be alerted when a new video is uploaded. This is after 1 hour. Here. Oops. Okay, here. Alright, the first thing you need to do as soon as it comes out of the oven is to brush this with rum or cherry brandy. Okay, just to give you an estimate, I put about 1 tablespoon per baking pan, and then later, once it cools down completely, I will brush it one more time with another 1 tablespoon. Alright, see, our fruit cake has cooled already. So what I'm going to do, so you don't see this one, I'm going to open it a little bit, and then I'm going to cut off portion of the parchment paper so it can't be seen. You might ask me why I need to put paper, why I don't bake it directly. I don't like to bake it directly in the tin can because the tin can has paint. I'm just afraid there might be some reactions. So I do this. I cut this off, or if you like, you can just remove the paper. But I like to retain the paper so it's clean. You keep the can clean. And then I put it back like this. See? Okay? And then, remember I told you brush it 2 times? The first time, we brushed it with We brushed it with rum. On the second brushing, we need corn syrup and rum. I use 1:1, meaning 1 portion of the rum, 1 portion of the corn syrup. So this is 1/4 cup of rum, 1/4 cup corn syrup for the glaze. So I'm going to brush this the second time. This is just before you sell this or once it has cooled down. Okay, the corn syrup will form a glaze. Okay, and then after that we're going to pack this. Okay, I have one which I'm going to slice. I'm going to show you how the inside looks like. By the way, if you have fruitcake, make sure you cool it down about 12 hours, or I usually do it overnight, so you are sure that it's very it's at room temperature. Okay, you see the inside, it's very moist, and then you have lots of nuts and fruits and raisins.